Only two more questions that I have, then we'll open it up to the floor. Since Abilene declared, I guess in this last budget cycle, to have over $1 million in excess left in revenues, the perception of the average person may have been that the city is fiscally sound. You know, anytime you have an overage, at the end of the month, we've got money in the bank, we're saying we're sound, right? And so we're kind of thinking, okay, the city had over $1 million left over, okay? If you had to reduce the budget, which the general budget in 2016 was $88 million, and I looked it up, and I think in 2006, 10 years ago, it was $63 million. So that's about $25 million difference in 10 years. If you had to do reduction to get back to the 2006 level of a budget, what would you eliminate?
I would definitely go after any non-essential areas of the city. You know, I've already talked about fire, police, talked about water, talked about streets. There's a lot of, we've grown our city government at a rate that's 3 times what our growth rate has been. We have 1,200 city employees now. That means 1 out of every 100 people you meet here works for the city of Abilene. You know, that we've tripled the size of city government, and we've raised our population about 20,000 people. We've spread that city government out into buildings all over the city that used to all be pretty centrally located at City Hall and 1 or 2 other places. You know, in looking at those figures, we have 1,200 employees and 1,400 telephones, 1,200 and something computers. That means that everybody that drives a trash truck or works in the park has their own computer. That just astounded me. The truth is, a large part of our budgets goes into updates every year. That they're upgrading new computer systems, new software, and I know that makes a more efficient operation, but most of us at home don't do that every year, do we?
Right.
We do that when it fits into the budget. But a lot of it that has come back is our police department and our fire department. They needed some raises. We've given them 40% raises in 10 years. That's far above what most of us have got. But in order to keep policemen and fire department workers here, we've had to become competitive with other like-sized cities. But the truth is, they're probably only going to get cost of living raises for the next number of years. And somebody has to be willing to stick to that. But in all areas, there's lots of areas of our budget. Number one, what good does it do to have 50 street workers if you don't give them the materials to work with? And for every dollar that we spend with a contractor, we could do $2 worth of work with our own employees down there. But we have to put them to work, and we have to lead them to do the work. Two things you never hear in the same sentence is government and efficiency. That holds very true for our city. That you go by any city project, and that's just not going on. But that's a leadership deal. It's when employees know that's what's expected of them. If they know I don't have enough materials to make it through the year, I've got to spread them out, then they're not going to be really excited about getting out there and getting after it. There's lots of areas, though, that we're going to have. The budget comes up in July this year, and it's going to be a tough deal to what has to be cut. 3 things that have to be done. I said that we do have to cut our budget, save our money. We have to grow our tax base, and all that. And that's happening. Abilene continues to grow and will still grow. Especially I was surprised when I read the progress section. I'd written my story without any knowledge of what was going to be in there. And Mr. Paul Johnson and Tim McCarty, that is the architect, said almost the exact things I said about the growth to the north and out to the lake. I think that we're going to have some major growth in Abilene to the north.